Hello everyone, this is the Spear of Nonsense, and this has been a video I promised last month, and I was actually going to push it forward, so I publish it after I go to the Skam convention and talk to people there as well, because there will be many people from many different countries, and then come here to make this video, but I keep hearing these rumors about something, so I wanted to address everything from my point of view, because I've been around for like 2 months now on YouTube. I've been around in the fandom, like Skam fandom, for over 2 years, so I feel like I have to make a comment about this situation. So, from the title, you probably have already understood what this is about, but I'm a Turkish person. I live in Turkey, and the only time I lived abroad was in university, third year, when I went to Germany, and I traveled a lot during that time, in those 6 months, and that was the only time I saw Europe. For one, I found out about Skam after learning about LGBT plus things, and no one around me knew anything about it. So I watched OG, I fell in love with it, and I didn't have any friends that followed it. I didn't have any friends that could handle the LGBT plus things. The only person I confided in about Skam was my older sister, who was the person that actually introduced me to this world of LGBT plus things. But even she wasn't really interested in Skam, so I turned to the internet to find friends, and I found a lot of friends at the time, even though we lost connection by now, since it's been over 2 years. But after watching some other remakes, I came back, and I found a lot of friends. I made a lot of friends all over the world, and I hope I will be able to meet them soon, but nowadays, there's a rumor going around saying there will be a Skam Turkey, and Julie Andem is talking to Turkish people about this. So in this video, I'm going to try to explain to you why that shouldn't happen, why that cannot happen, and we'll give you a little bit, a small glimpse into Turkish people and how Turkey is. I don't really like talking about my country, honestly, because I feel like I'm really opinionated. Also, I'm way more open-minded than my peers, my students who are way younger than me, obviously my parents, elders, etc. So, yes. First point we're going to make is we're going to talk about LGBT in media. So LGBT in media, I asked a question on Tumblr months ago about how it is in other countries. So some people replied to it, so I'm going to read them and make some little comments about how it is in Turkey as well. So first of all, my lovely friend, Infinities of Books, said, I honestly don't know. I don't watch a lot of French things. She's from France. I know like 3 shows, but it's mainly white, male to male, male with male, with really cliche storylines. I know a popular drama had a lesbian storyline once, but that's it. The only LGBT French things I know are web series, but again, I don't watch a lot of French TV, so maybe there is more. And for movies, definitely no representation or good representation in the popular French comedies that everyone watch and know. So that is kind of sad, but I guess the main point of Skam France season 3 was to actually make people aware of this problem, right? So, and even though it was kind of it was to actually make people aware, it is something that people are realizing right now, slowly and slowly. I heard from many different people. Some people are saying it's bad. It's been really bad since same-sex marriage got approved in France. Some people are saying it's been better. It's less than racism, like Islamophobia. So, but still, representation is really low. And another friend said, for Brazil, it's a no. There are basically no national movies with LGBTQ plus people, just some novels. There's a good amount of books, but people just generally just overlook them. We basically just watch US content. Okay. So basically, there is no national representation, so we have to actually turn to another other sources to actually get um, some media that represents us. Okay. Another friend said, in Italy, there definitely isn't. I have to say, I don't watch a lot of Italian shows because they're pretty much all trash. I think many people say that about their own country. But okay, in some movies, there are some gay male characters, but they're often super dramatic or used as the butt of the joke. It's rare to see some good representation. It's even worse for other LGBT plus. I reckon seeing a trans character on a TV show, she was dead and they kept calling her with a male name. I was so mad. Oh my god. Oh, that's so annoying. Well, I feel like that is like the gist of it. Like most of the shows use these characters as stereotypes. Like, if you're gay, I would love to go on a shopping with my gay friend, etc. Like stuff like that happened back when I was first learning English as well, which was like over 10 years ago. So it is something to keep in mind. But let's continue. Another friend said, I'm based in the UK, and honestly, I don't know. The main reason why is because of American shows, I guess. There's definitely a lack of trans representation. I've barely seen any or next to none in mainstream TV. The same with asexuality and lesser well-known parts of the spectrum. The British TV show that comes to the forefront of my mind is Skins. Oh, yeah. I know that's I know that one. That is like Skam, but based off 3 generations. Gen 1 had the gay guy. It was a regular role, fed into stereotypes, but not damaging ones. He was a well-rounded character. And an anorexic girl who kind of gave off unhealthy bi-plus polygamy vibes to get over her main male love interest. Interesting. Okay. Gen 2 had 2 lesbians, gay girls, who dated each other, but things got messy and fucked up in their second season, volume 4. Gen 3, from what I've seen, had a pansexual androgynous girl. I don't think I've seen anything as popular as Skins for British teens since. There has been healthier representation that I've seen on TV since, but I'm not too sure if it was British-based TV. Okay, so we have out of all of that, we only have one program that kind of showed representation. Another friend said, I'm from Colombia, and I would say definitely not. We don't get enough LGBTQ representation in the media. I can name only one character out of all the TV shows, and that is actually canonically gay, and it's a lawyer in a TV series. Also, there's currently a Christian party who removed all things that had to do with the community from the development plan, which is like a list of all the things the government is going to do in a year. So I would say LGBTQ people have it pretty hard in my country. Also, what is worse about that is that this party isn't even in the majority of the Senate. The only reason why they were able to do that is because very few people from other parties opposed. Okay, so this is kind of stepping outside of the only media, but of course I want to talk about it because a party that is not even in the majority can make a change about LGBTQ stuff. Because the others don't really care about it. It's such a big thing, right? I feel like that happens a lot. I feel it's sad to imagine, but God. So first of all, let me talk about media and LGBTQ representation in Turkey. So first thing to keep in mind that there is no LGBTQ characters in Turkish television on Turkish television. No, none. There are only 2 people that I can think of that could be included in the representation, which is one, there's a singer, I think they were male and they became a woman and they're a singer. And like when I was way younger, it used to be like an insult to be likened to them. So are you like that singer? Or like they make fun of the way they dressed, the way they sounded, like it was like the butt of a joke. Even though they're very like well known and they make a lot of money, they went on very popular programs, and they made some programs popular. Even though all of that, this trans person was really like butt of the joke whole time. And there's a very famous, the second person is very famous, but they're male. They basically do drag, and why I respect that, why I want to include that in LGBT representation thing, is because they dress up as a woman and they are so well known as that character. Even though everyone knows is a male, they were so huge, and I feel like they would never let anyone talk them down, and that's why I want to include them, because like, what if I'm a guy that dresses up as a woman? Like, why you can't talk down on me? I just really like the strength that person showed. So let's talk about media a bit more, because one thing I really want to mention is, if you ever talk to any Turkish fans of Skam, the first thing we will mention is Shameless. I don't know if you guys know Shameless. I haven't never watched it. I know the basic plot, if I may, but there is a gay character called Ian, I believe, and well, when Shameless was made into a Turkish version, so basically when there was a remake of Shameless in Turkish, that person was totally eradicated into someone who was heterosexual, and their love interest was not a guy but an older woman. So falling in love with a guy was worse than falling in love with an older woman. I don't really remember how much older the woman was, but like, I just don't get the point of changing that. But trying to make everything fit into the society's molds, they had to change it so that the guy was no longer gay. I think one more thing happened. I don't remember the original TV series' name, but there was a character who was supposed to be gay, and the character's whole arc, like plot, was dependent on being gay, and they just erased that and made him fall in love with like his cousin or something. I don't know. It was so stupid. I don't understand Turkish television, and all the people that said, "Oh, I don't watch my own country's television," I don't either. Believe me, with good reason, but still. Another point I want to talk about is, if you think of Turkey, I feel like the first thing that will pop up in people's head is religion. So Turkey is a secular country that is almost completely Muslim. Well, it used to be almost 99% Muslim back in the day, and right now, newer generations are actually more open. I keep hearing about more atheist people than back when I was a student, back when I was in like high school, for example. And so in a Muslim country, obviously, in word, on paper, everyone is following this religion, right? In Islam, as per usual, homosexuality is a sin, and well, it's not just that, but like, our society is so tied down on the traditional idea of going to school, finishing school, getting married, finding a job, getting married, having kids, retiring. Like, this set rules of society are so like exact that if you change one thing, then like, if even if you're not an LGBT plus person, if you decide, for example, I'm not going to get married, then all of a sudden everyone is your enemy. Okay, like everyone turns their back on you. So thinking about that, same-sex marriage is not allowed in this country at all. Also, I would love to show you this clip of about LGBT in Turkey, but it's full on in Turkish, I think. I don't know if it has subs, or I don't know if they will let me use it. So I'm just going to give you an example of what older people think about LGBT. So there was a video where a guy took a microphone and went on the street to talk to people. So the main question was, let's say you have a daughter or a son, or if you do have a daughter or a son, they come out to you as lesbian or gay. So what would you do? So let's say there were 10 people that answered this question. 8 of them gave an answer that included violence. So whether it's be making them marry someone they didn't want to, or bringing them to the hospital so they get fixed, or like disowning them, or even killing them. Some people said this on camera. Some people said that they would kill their daughter or son if they came after them. And this is the reality of this country. And I don't want to be the person that says, oh, this is the reality, we should just accept it and move on. But as a teacher, I should not be accepting this reality, right? So that is why I'm going to give you a small anecdote into my classroom. So I teach English at a university. So all of my students are over 18 years old, and they have technology on the palm of their hands, and they are able to reach anything they want. But obviously, they're not using technology very effectively, but whatever. So we are going to have a debate about equality, and this was for their speaking grades. And I said, please get ready, let's pick like 3 main things about equality. So one group was going to say, in a society there cannot be equality, and one group was going to say, in a society there can be equality between everyone. So because we said everyone, we thought it was too broad, so we wanted to make it smaller. So I picked 3 groups. So one was equality about race, one was equality about gender, and one was equality about LGBT people. So basically what I wanted was like positive discrimination, negative discrimination, like why it shouldn't be equal, how it can't be equal, or how it can be equal, what should we do, things like that. But the moment I talked about these categories, one of our students says, oh, LGBT, ew. And don't look at me laughing. I was just so frustrated, and I'm remembering how frustrated I was, because in front of me is an 80-year-old girl who said, oh, those kind of people should not exist. And I just looked at her like, I'm standing in front of you. I'm there. Like I just looked at her like, why do you say that? I tried to be very nice, because when I was younger, I was really angry about this stuff. While trying to explain it to people, I was really angry. But right now, I'm a teacher. I'm the mediator of the classroom. I can't be angry. So I look at her and I say, why do you say that? And then she's like, this is not very like natural, in nature there are no homosexual couples, and etc. And then immediately I'm thinking of season 3, Sana's talk to Isaac, like and I'm like, oh, it exists though. It is in the nature. It is there. Otherwise, this wouldn't happen. Or like, I'm trying to explain it to her, and she's saying like, oh, I saw people like that, like 2 guys holding hands, ew, and stuff like that. And one of my other students just jumped up and said like, why shouldn't they hold hands? Why can't they hold hands? They are in love. Why do you care? Why are you looking at them in the first place? And I was kind of like between being frustrated and proud, and also like really confused about that, because in my university, I went to one of the best universities in this country, thank God, and it was one of the freest place in this country. And LGBT was really LGBT plus club, the club of there was a club that represented that. They did events, they did walks, like pride walks. They were amazing, honestly. They gave out free condoms. There were like talks about some stuff that were I had never talked about in my previous life before university, and I was really proud of them. So after coming out of a place where everyone was open, I forgot that I was in this country. So hearing that, like hearing an 18-year-old girl say that LGBT plus people should be killed, was like a slap across my face, because she was technically saying that I should be killed. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. And after a while, I called her. I said to her that she had blindfold over her eyes, so she didn't see the reality, which was not this. And she was just looking at her own glass castle. If you look at the reality, my experience at university is not reality. That is a place that is safe, that is guarded, that belongs to the students. But Turkey is not like that. So the first time I tried to record this video, I was inspired by Colleen, who played Alexia in Scam Friends, who plays Alexia in Scam Friends. And she received a message from a Turkish girl saying she was inspired by her to come out to her parents, her friends. And Colleen apparently didn't have time, so she replied a bit later. And the reply she received was that that person came out to her family and then they rejected her, so she committed suicide. And I'm really sorry to tell you that this is the truth. There have been so many cases of people coming out to their parents, coming out to their friends, and being shunned, and being disowned, and being killed. And it's still going on. We're in 2019, and it's still going on. It's still happening. Turkish people do not care about change. Let me tell you this much. We're a country that accepts change very slowly, if we ever do accept it in the first place. But recently we have been going back towards religion and religious times, and moving way away from secularity. And therefore, obviously, a country that is looking into Islam and trying to have people cover their hair, and trying to separate women and men from each other while studying, which used to be the case like almost 100 years ago. Obviously, these kind of people are not going to understand that it is okay to change. It is okay to accept new things. It is okay to let people do their own things. That's why most of the time when people are actually trying to live with their sexuality instead of hiding it and staying in a closet, they move away from this country. All of my Turkish friends that are a part of LGBT plus community have moved out of the country and got married in other Europe countries or in America, and they never returned, and they're very happy with the life they have right now, because no one should have to hide what they have, what they are, who they are. And that is the case for everyone, not just Turkey, not just my own experiences or this country, but in Italy, in France, in Brazil, in Colombia. You shouldn't be hiding who you are, because this is how you were made. This is who you are, and it shouldn't be left to someone else to choose if you get to live or not, or get to be yourself or not, because this is your life, and no one should be able to tell you what to do or what not to do. That's why living here is really, really hard, honestly. I just want to say that if Skam is actually remade in Turkey, that is going to be the worst version, because it's not going to be Skam, because you're not going to see Isaac fall in love with Evan. You're going to see Isaac fall in love with, I don't know, Eva or something. And you're going to see Eskilde not talk about being gay, but talk about women, these things that make Skam are going to disappear, because it doesn't exist here. In people's eyes, those things don't exist. So being gay is a joke. If you're a guy, and if you take care of your clothes, you're gay. If you talk about love and romantic things, and if you cry, you're gay. if you do this, if you do that, you're gay. And being gay is never a good thing. And if you try to put that on traditional television, let me tell you, no one is going to watch that. Not even young people are going to watch that. Because, first of all, if you actually try to get a famous actress or actresses for this, they're not going to accept it. Or if they accept it, the script is going to be so heavily altered that it's not going to be Skam, as I just mentioned. Or like if you want to make it appropriate for people, then there will be no season 3, basically. And also, like, there is this part of seasons which is like 12 episodes. In Turkey, some seasons go on for 600 episodes because people don't get enough of things. People don't know when to stop, and they go overboard most of the time. Honestly, I can't imagine a Skam Turkey because there shouldn't be one. Because with the way society is right now, I feel like making a Skam remake here will not show people how to change or what to pay attention to, or like all these beautiful lessons that Skam is teaching us right now, but more like, high school is a time to sleep around and have many girlfriends or boyfriends. Also, you should drink when you're in high school. So maybe if they actually put it to a university, then it can be maybe okay, but then still, I really highly doubt that they will be able to pull off anything as meaningful as Skam, because we don't have that. And also, like, I don't know how they would be able to pull off season 4 either, because we're a Muslim country, so they would have to represent someone of another religion instead of Islam. So I'm not sure, but here's the thing. Skam has opened its arms to us from various countries, and it has showed us different difficulties that those people are going through in their countries. And with each Isak season, those were the most important to me because I feel like I connected to those seasons more. I saw the reality of things more in season 3s and season 2 for Skam Spain and Skam Italia. So for me, losing that season basically means losing Skam, because I learned so much from that. And of course, it would be so valuable to show a gay guy trying to come in, like, understand what he's doing, what is happening in his life, what that he likes guys, that he's into this one person in particular, that he has to come out to his friends, come out to his parents, come out to this person, come out to that person, and deal with this, deal with that. That is amazing. That gives out so many good lessons. Like, let's just think of Lucas' season, for example, Skam Prince season 3. Like, he learned so much about honesty, about friendship, about supporting people, about being nice, about being supportive. And of course, these lessons are so valuable. But here's the thing: will people understand this? Of course, maybe you might be thinking, oh, even if only one person understands it, that's enough. But no, what if that season comes out on television and it's made fun of? What if you look at television, you watch Lucas' season, and you actually feel it from the depth of your heart, but everyone else is making fun of it. Everyone else is running it to the ground, and everyone else is making sure that you don't feel like you belong. Wouldn't that make it worse? And that is the point I'm more scared of, because if we represent a few people in this country, of course, that is awesome. But What if the reaction from the rest of the country make it so bad that those people feel like they can't take it anymore? Because just one sentence from your loved ones can break you down. Just imagine the whole country doing that. And it can happen because this is Turkey. Skam Turkey should not happen. Or maybe they should find people that are actually in this community, or the people who actually know what Skam represents, what Skam stands for, what Skam is trying to say. Because otherwise, this is just going to be a name drop of Skam. Maybe not even that name in Turkish, but oh, we made a remake of Skam. So what is it about? Is it about changing? Is it about acceptance? Is it about representation? No. It's just a remake. There are no lessons in this remake. My last point is that if you're living in a country where you have to hide your personality, hide who you are, hide your sexuality, whatever, like, it doesn't have to be just sexuality. It can be your character, it can be your religion, it can be like your hobbies. Sometimes people shun you for those. It can be your gender, it can be anything you can think of. Just know that there are people out there who are ready to support you, okay? We can't choose where we are born, but we can choose who we are friends with. Today, Matteo came out as friends. Chris came out to Amira. It was such a beautiful day, wasn't it? So find your friends that you belong with, that will accept you. They're just the smallest sign of acceptance is enough. And you don't have to know everything. You don't have to say everything. If your friends are your friends for you, then they know and they accept you. So please don't let go. Okay? Because I promise you, better things will come. And you will be happier. But for me to be happier, I think we should really delay Skam Turkey. So, I think I rambled enough. But let me know what you think. What is it? How is LGBTQ plus things? How do those things happen in your country? Do you have representation in media? Are there openly gay people? Are there openly bisexual people? Are there openly trans people in your celebrities? Or is it okay? Is it used as an insult? Like, is it in Turkey? So let me know in the comments below, and then we can have another video about it, maybe about other countries later. So I hope that I managed to teach you a little about Turkey and why LGBTQ stuff should not be here yet. If you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram or Tumblr or here in the comments below. And I will see you later. This has been a spew of nonsense, and I hope to return to you with better and happier videos.